Panther people, what up? The Carolina Panthers have a massive loss as they head to their home opener against the Falcons. And another player who might be injured, but it might actually be a good thing. Let's go ahead and watch Panthers Post. Thanks for joining. Well, the Carolina Panthers, who have been gosh awful in week 1 against Jacksonville Jaguars, and then decided to turn it on late in the third and fourth quarter against the Arizona Cardinals, can finally look to seem somewhat like a competently coached NFL franchise in week 3 at the home opener. I don't know what the crowd's going to be like, but they can either end that weekend 1-2, looking somewhat alive, build some enthusiasm before going back on the road against Mike Vrabel and the New England Patriots, or you go 0-3 and you got dead man walking Dave Canales. And they cannot afford for that to happen. Let's first talk some news and notes on how these major injuries could have a huge impact on the team, and also some keys to the game. Robert Hunt, the Pro Bowl guard last year for the Carolina Panthers, is out. I don't know when, but he tore his friggin' bicep. And at last check, to be a guard, you need strong biceps. You need them to not be atrophied, which means shrunken to a fraction of the size, because you tore it. He had successful surgery, but it's going to take a long time. I do not think we're going to see him the rest of the year, because it is just a soft tissue thing. And we've seen lately with the Carolina Panthers, soft tissue injuries, that soft tissue injury bug hit everybody. It started with Jalen Coker with his hamstring or his quad, which he has a history with, but still, that got him. And then Robert Hunt got him with a bicep. And then now we got Xavier Legette. We're going to talk about a little bit later with the hamstring. But Robert Hunt being gone is a gigantic loss. It is a Robert Hunt-sized loss for this offensive line, which is the strength of this team. And that's a reason why they brought everybody back, because you just never know. My wife was actually watching Thursday Night Football with me, asking why there's so many people on the sidelines. There's 53 guys on this roster. And someone could go down like that. You need to find their replacement. And then sometimes that guy can get hurt like that. You need their replacement. That's why the Panthers have the depth they have on the offensive line. Now, Chandler Zavala, I have like a 3 out of 10 confidence that he is going to be out there and doing the same thing Robert Hunt does. I have much more confidence in Cade Mays, who is going to be replacing Austin Corbett at center, because there is Team Cade Mays out there who thought that he should have been the starting center to begin with. And Austin Corbett not really doing himself any favors with all those high snaps, thinking that Bryce Young was Cam Newton in week 1 against the Jaguars. And so I'm more worried about the lack of Robert Hunt maybe for the rest of the year. And, Chandler Zavala coming into the draft from North Carolina State, he is a road grader. He is not exactly a pass protection savant. So I think this would kind of force the hand of Dave Canales, even though he says it's his philosophy. It'll force the hand of Dave Canales to focus on the run. There's a reason why you paid Chuba Hubbard. There's a reason why you signed Rico Dowdle. 2 1,000-yard rushers in the backfield. Friggin' use them. Use them, use them, use them. And stick to your guns. Doesn't matter if you're down. I'm literally watching Thursday Night Football right now. The Miami Dolphins are at the Ralph. They were up 7-0 against the Buffalo Bills. They had like a 8-10 minute drive. What do the Buffalo Bills do? Who have Josh Allen, who's a potential MVP candidate this year, and basically every year that he steps foot on the NFL field. They ran the ball with James Cook, and you could say James Cook is better than Chuba Hubbard. I'd say he is. But they ran the ball. Back-to-back plays, and then they set up an empty set, and then Josh Allen found his wide receivers. They're stubborn on the run. Robert Hunt out for the foreseeable future. I'm super worried about that. Hopefully they can scheme around it. I don't have confidence in that with his coaching staff. I'm less worried about Cade Mays backing up Austin Corbett. So let me know in the comments below. Are you kind of worried about Robert Hunt? I'll also say this. With all these soft tissue injuries, they have a new strength and conditioning staff. I don't know why the hell we're having all these muscle issues. I don't know if guys aren't hydrated enough, or if they have improper nutrition, or they're not doing yoga. I don't know what's going on. These types of injuries should not happen. Another injury we got to tell you about, Xavier Legette. Yes, that's Xavier Legette, who is, what's the best way to describe it? People are starting to figure out what the hell's going on. It's looking rough right now for XL. And they said he, hurt his hamstring. He was limited in practice, but he said he should be good. Talked to reporters, said, when it hits, it's going to stick. So the question everybody's asking is, when's it going to stick? When is it going to stick with him? He is a first-round pick. You got to eat that. You got to earn it. You got to own the fact that you're a 32nd overall pick, and you got to play like it. But people started to notice, including Cameron Jarrell Newton, who probably wishes he had somebody of that caliber on his team. You could say he had Devin Funchess, also wore number 17, more productive than XL right now. But this is what Cam Newton just had to say on his 4th and 1 podcast about XL and his production off the field and lack thereof on the field. Take a look at some highlights.
That little mixtape that you just created ain't gonna guarantee you 1,000 yards. And I'm just using Xavier Legette as an example, bro. He's a first-round pick. How does it translate? Xavier, never mind with the country slang, bro. Never mind with the Glorilla music video. Lock in. Keep the main thing the main thing. Your time is ticking. When you look at the premier players in the league, do you ever see them working out? The answer is no. When you really working, who don't care who sees what you're doing? Think of a guy like Devontae Adams, a swordsman when it comes to route running. How about let's get back to the fundamentals? Understanding like, yo, what the quarterback is expecting of me. Too many times I see receivers focusing on route running or skill sets that they're not the receiver that really has these routes. I see a lot of these option route runners like, bro, you're never going to run an option route, bro. That fan favorite is only a fan favorite when you're a young player or you're a productive player. You don't get to be a fan favorite when you're doing the bare minimum. You're no longer a rookie anymore, bro.
Cam's right. You're only going to be the fan favorite if you're actually good. And right now with XL, he has -8 yards on the year, I think. Net. I think net might be 2 yards. Just brutal. Jalen Coker has more yards than him, and he's not even playing. He's not even suiting up. He's at home. And so maybe this hamstring is kind of like that ankle injury Bryce had in his rookie year when Andy Dalton went over to take on the Seattle Seahawks. I also think in week 3, maybe this is a way for them to sit him as a precaution. They sit XL down. They elevate Jimmy Horn. He does offer something different when that opportunity does come. Dave Canales talked about that. He does offer a different dimension. Now, if he is a gamer and he's ready to go, hell, I'll take anyone to contribute, but maybe sit XL. Because hamstring, you don't want, if you have a tweaked hamstring already on Wednesday and Thursday, and you want to go out there at home and you want to take on the Atlanta Falcons, have a pretty decent secondary. Bobby Bowman, or Billy Bowman, I wanted him with the Panthers. Latham Ransom, if they play him enough, I'm sure will be a contributor at some point for the defense. But Bowman, 2 picks, Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football against the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, I'd be worried. I would be worried that XL, with the pressure on his shoulders, I think it would result in something with this hamstring that we don't even want to talk about. I do not want to wish that on him. So I could see the staff sitting him down, using the tweaked hamstring as the concern, elevating Jimmy Horn, and you're going to get a Jimmy Horn show. You're going to get a Bryson Tremaine show, but most importantly, you're going to get more Tetra McMillan out there. Mind you, the Atlanta Falcons, speaking of injuries, they are going to be without A.J. Terrell, their star cornerback, James Pierce Jr., the rookie who already has 2 sacks on the year. He did not practice due to a groin injury. I don't know how that's going to get any better until Sunday. I think Tetra McMillan could eat. I think someone like a Bryson Tremaine, who's a big body wide receiver, could definitely have a good day, as well as Hunter Renfrow. But XL, limited with the hamstring. I could see that as an opportunity to sit him down, have the game slow down a little bit for him, and then come back bigger, better than ever. I'm rooting for him. I really am. And when I said those things during last season and the offseason, because I want him to succeed on the field first and then get all the accolades off the field after that. Let's talk about some of the keys that the Panthers need to do to try to win this game against the Atlanta Falcons. You got to run the ball. If you take a look at after any loss or after any clip with Dave Canales or Ejiro Evero, who's the number one person that people say should have been the head coach the whole time on the Twitter machine? Steve Wilks. What did Steve Wilks believe in? Running the damn ball. Hard-nosed, smash-mouth football. That's the Carolina Panther way. We're used to that, you know, with Steven Davis, Deshaun Foster, D'Angelo Williams, Jonathan Stewart, Christian McCaffrey. Even though he was slick, he knew how to run between the tackles, despite what the draft people said before he was drafted out of Stanford. That's what the Panthers are about. Bryce, just find 4. Even if you see half of 4, if you see the top of 4, that's all you need. Just chuck it. As I mentioned before, A.J. Terrell, going to be hurt, could be without him on Sunday. Just chuck it. Chuck it to him. He's doing his damn thing. I'm already seeing comparisons. He could be Justin Jefferson, but, you know, Polynesian. Just chuck it. I think he's going to have a massive game. I think it's going to be his coming out party. I think people are going to start to take notice. And yeah, just chuck it to him. Just friggin' give him the damn ball. That's that. Christian Roseboom, Trevin Wallace, take as many PEDs as you can because you need to stop Bijan Robinson. Derek Barr can only do so much. He can only clog so many holes. Turk Wharton's still hurt. I think Nick Score's going to be playing more. Patrick Jones, apparently he's got a bit of an ailment. He's got an injury of some kind, so Nick Score's going to be in there. He's going to make his real debut if he's ready, if they're going to start him. Princey Uman-Milan, I think, is out for blood. I think he's going to have a great weekend as well, but they can only do so much. I need the linebackers to do linebacker things. Oklahoma drill has always been a running back, linebacker. I need Christian Roseboom, Trevin Wallace. You're at home. Luke Kuechly's going to be there. Thomas Davis is going to be there. Everyone's going to be there. Please don't let us down. I just talked about the smash mouth football on the offensive side that the Carolina Panthers faithful are used to. That's what they're used to from their linebacker core. Just prove me wrong that you guys are Timu, Thomas Davis, and Luke Kuechly. Get out there. I think the defense did a great job limiting the rushing out of the Arizona Cardinals, mind you, with Sam, I forget his last name, and Kyler Murray. Less than 100 yards rushing. That's pretty good. I think the defense played great in week 2. Not great, but they played well enough. They scored 17 points. That defense, that offense did. Everything else is on Bryce's turnovers, and obviously that's also a massive thing. Bryce don't turn over the darn ball, but the defense just, if everyone does their darn job, especially the linebackers, I think the Panthers come away with a win. So do I pick the Panthers to win this game? No, not until they show me that they can actually play 4 full quarters of like just standard football. Like get plays off before the play clock goes down. Don't fumble the ball. Don't turn it over. Just don't make stupid mistakes, stupid penalties. I hate to reference Matt Rule, DBO, don't beat ourselves. That mantra, we made fun of it, but that's kind of the Panthers' problem. So I picked the Falcons to win 28-25. Pressures on Dave Canales to make a friggin' move. Whether he relinquishes play calling, if that's going to be the problem on Sunday, to Brad Isaac, not saying that he's a stud up and coming off as a coordinator, but something needs to happen, especially if the defense comes out to play again for a second straight week. Canales got to figure it out. And obviously, so does Bryce. Because if they lose, Bryce did something stupid. Let me know in the comments below. See you guys soon.